Sitting at 11-11 and the 10th seed in the Western Conference, a quarter into the season, middle of the pack on offense and defense, the Minnesota Timberwolves have lost Karl Anthony Towns for at least a month, if not for a little bit longer after a rough injury. And after making the biggest acquisition of the offseason in Rudy Gobert, obviously package-wise, giving up essentially 6 first-round picks, with one of the first-round picks being Walker Kessler this year, and a couple of glue players in Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. Their season is off to a very rocky start, with some really embarrassing losses already and some really bad body language from them, feeling like they don't want to play with each other. They finally got a huge win in their first game without Karl Anthony Towns against the Memphis Grizzlies, in what was essentially a first-round rematch from last year's playoffs. And first time all season they looked engaged and were playing hard all around all game. And I want to talk about how the Karl Anthony Towns injury might be the perfect wake-up call and also might be a blessing in disguise, as everyone will now be back into their more preferable role and more preferable position, more alert. The talent and the urgency back into their game should be able to help them stay not only afloat, but might even help them get better. The lineup will be D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Kyle Anderson, Jaden McDaniels when he gets back from his injury, and Rudy Gobert, obviously, with the spark plugs of the bench in Jalen Noel, who has been balling so far this year, Naz Reid, solid backup, big of that can stretch the floor, and if one of the other players is able to contribute on the nightly basis, whether that is Austin Rivers, Wendell Moore, Luka Garza, Nathan Knight, or AJ Lawson, we think Austin Rivers or Wendell Moore should be able to contribute, but we're still not certain. But if at least one of those two guys who is able to help them contribute on a nightly basis, then during this next month or so without Cat, they should have a much clearer direction and they should look the best they looked all year. The X factor is, of course, Anthony Edwards, who at times has played the most disengaged, but also showed us what we want from him in that win against the Grizzlies, as he maybe had his best all-around game of the season, chiming in with 29 points, a lot of them in the fourth quarter, taking it to the rack as much as he could, getting to the line, got 3 boards, 5 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks, and just 1 turnover. And if he is able to stay engaged, just like he was in that game, and it should be necessary now, he could get to the step that we were all expecting him to take this season, into that superstardom, so-called. He's not obviously a superstar, but the step to superstardom. As for Rudy Gobert, you hope that with Karl Anthony Towns out, he will be able to stabilize the defense for now, as he did all those years in Utah, and have more than 1 rebound as he did against the Grizzlies. I had to take a dig there. And with the schedule for when Towns should get back in somewhere in January, probably at the start of January, they have pretty favorable start to life here, as they already beat Memphis and they now have a couple of home games against Indiana and Oklahoma City, who are very beatable opponents, are pretty good opponents. But if the TWolves wanna be where they should be, they need to win those games, get, ahead of this thing before a huge road trip where we will get to know everything we need to know, as they play in Utah, twice in Portland, where Dame will already be back, in LA against the Clippers, and in OKC. If they can go 5-2 here, they, and just stay above 500 until Karl Anthony Towns returns, somewhere in there in January, they should be more than fine and maybe even better off here, and hopefully be more focused on the goal, which is obviously winning here, right? And that's all I got here. Let me know your thoughts. It's just a random thought piece, nothing really that, serious, just what I think about the T-Wolves, where my mind is at, and I was thinking about it a lot, so I wanted to make a video about it. Can these boys hold it down? Get back on track without Karl Anthony Towns? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Like and subscribe. Love you all, and I'll see ya.